I also wanted to make from the note from the corrections department. I think I made a comment about Brokeback Mountain about how in Iron Claw, how they had these actresses that kind of use a throwaway, and I incorrectly said Amy Adams. What I meant to say was either Anna Faris or Anne Hathaway. I did not mean to put Amy Adams into that category. I know that she wasn't in that movie. I had.
Stop. Are you fact checking your own show?
Hello, and thank you very much for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can download many more episodes at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com.
Question right off the bat: Why is this not a Friday the 13th movie? Just make this a Friday the 13th movie. Tonight we're talking about in a violent nature. Eric, how the hell you doing?
You know what? Okay, so we were talking about this off air. Did you say that Friday the 13th is up to 12 and that this would have been a fantastic idea for the 13th, Friday the 13th?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Why hasn't this concept been done before? Or has it?
It has, and critically acclaimed films, right? Like Elephant. Gus Van Sant done this a time or two.
Oh, sure.
But you're talking about a serial killer in the woods point of view. It's the same thing. I mean, like Last Days, Elephant. That's two of them by Gus Van Sant.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Enter the Void had a third person view of it as well too.
Right.
That was an odd movie, but that was not a killer movie. That was more of a spiritual kind of psychedelic movie. But yeah, it's not too often that we get a third person. Hardcore Harry, wasn't that a third person or a first person movie?
Hardcore Henry was a first-person movie, which I come back to from time
Henry,
to
yeah,
time
you're
just
right.
because it's ridiculous. Do you remember? Because you and I are kind of horror fans. Do you remember mid 2000s when they came out with VHS? Remember
They
those
came out with
movies?
so they came out with VHS before us, man, before the
No,
2000s.
man. No, man. You don't talk about like the anthology horror movies called VHS.
Oh yeah, oh yes, yeah,
Yeah, where they had like three or four shorts into
yes.
a feature-length film. That's what this movie should be in.
Okay.
That this movie should not be an hour 30, hour 40. There's no story to tell for that period of time.
I was I did some research into this movie, and this movie was one of those where it was created by the horror movie fanatic who really specialized in makeup effects.
The director of the movie,
Yeah,
or
Chris Nash. He has
he was special
he has
effects
a
guy.
yeah, he has a big resume in special effects that kind of predate his direction. Although he did do some shorts, some independent projects, and he was writing as well that, but he has done a lot more special effects, whether it be makeup or prosthetics or scene. But he has done a lot more of that. Um, this being one of his, if not his first big project, he did ABCs of Death 2, um, the Z for Zygote segment, but
Ugh,
but this is going to be his claim right here, right?
right. But this should have been. I mean, this brought me back to Blair Witch, not the original, the third movie. We reviewed that years ago, but you remember they were marketing it as this Ghost in the Woods movie, but all of a sudden the actual trailer came out. It was Blair Witch, and everybody was shocked. Again, not to hype on this, and I won't talk about it much. This should have been a Friday 13th. I think it would have hit better. I think it would have had more market. I think it would have brought more butts in the seats, because this is a unnamed character that gives us no reason to care. Think about the box office if it was a Jason movie.
Yeah, yeah. This is one of those rare occasions where I think that the trailer was better than the movie.
Hmm. See, I don't know. We're going to discuss that. But I definitely do feel, no matter what, if my opinion changes for good to bad throughout our review, this movie should be a 30-minute short in an anthology horror series.
So I disagree. I think that this movie had potential to be a full feature hour 30 good horror movie. I think all the parts were there, and I enjoyed some parts that really stood out. But listen, there were a lot of parts, and we'll obviously get into it, that I think really held this movie back. And when it was bad, buddy, it was bad. And whether it be the stereotypical characters in this movie, or listen, the god awful acting from these college actors that were coming out of this movie, to like some slow parts that were in it too, or just the kind of the dumb mistakes that the people were making. And we'll go in more into depth about this, but there were some, like, I thought the kills were awesome in this.
Yes, yes, that's what makes this.
Yeah, top notch.
But
And the concept itself and the way that they put the story together, the way that they kind of gave you the backstory. Okay, I'm with it. You didn't give you it all at once. It didn't dump on it. It gave you just enough to where you're piecing it together, except for that campfire scene where they gave you overload. But that was a good way of doing that. And they kept on going, and they pieced it together. And then that ending happened. And I don't know what the flip that thing was.
yeah, we'll talk about that. I was not understanding. I'm not. I'm going to bring up Friday the 13th one more time, but I'm not comparing it to a movie. But do you remember at all years ago, back when we first started our podcast, that there was a Friday the 13th game? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I was a victim of paying like $100 because I thought it was a great concept. The concept was either it was going to be an online only game, then you could either be Jason or one of the counselors, and you're in different big scene scenarios in Higgins Haven and number 3 or number 4 or Camp Crystal Lake itself. And you can either be Jason, go around and kill counselors, or be the counselors and survive. Cat and mouse, hide and go seek, right?
Mm-hmm.
The hype for that was so big. And when the game came out, I bought the game. I donated $100. I was all about it. And I played the game for maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. That is kind of how I feel about this. The trailers were cool. The teaser trailers were cool. I liked the idea that they were going with. I was in it. I donated $100, if you will. But after 2 hours, I was kind of like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel that there are times when early stages or concept is better than the final product. Just as you were talking about that Jason game, because I remember before then in Call of Duty, like 3 or whatever, which one, where you could do custom games. There was a popular one that the community made up, and we called it Michael Myers. There's another one
Oh,
called Zombies that you could do. And I'm not talking about the wave type of thing. I'm talking about a custom match where one person is it, and in the game Michael Myers, let's say you have 10 people in a custom game, right? And 9 people are running from the one. Those 9 people, they can use pistols only, and the Michael Myers character only has a knife.
standard. Okay, standard.
Yeah, and his health is up a bit higher, but he still can go down. You can still shoot him with pistols,
Right.
and he can respawn too. But basically, he's going around just trying to stab people with a knife, and yeah, it was a fun game, and yeah, kind of the same thing in that. I don't want to get into other game modes, but I feel that when they were talking or writing this movie, that maybe they had a better idea what it was going to be in their head, and then when it came to the final product, it was like, okay, well, maybe it was a budget issue and they didn't get everything that they wanted out of it, like better actors, but I it, it was there. It
It
was
was
there.
there. Can we talk about the killer's backstory first? Because I think that would kind of help.
Yeah, yeah, because the movie opens in a kind of a shack in the woods, right? And we see a gold locket and some off-screen dialogue of some people going, "Oh, what is it? No, this is story." And they take the locket, and then after they take the locket, that awakes our anti-hero, our killer, Johnny.
Right. So what I take from this movie is kind of stealing from Friday the 13th, but Johnny back in the day was a mentally challenged boy, right? Like a 10-year-old, 12-year-old boy. This is what we're getting told at the campfire scene in the middle of the movie.
Yes.
But he's mentally challenged, and he was told to go up to a fire hut, which, if you don't know what a fire hut is, you are, I don't know how many stories up in the air. Like, you're up there. You're above the trees, you know? And he gets tricked to go up there, and somebody scares him. And he falls to his death, and his dad buries him, and that's it, right? I'm like, he has not risen since, or does he rise every 10 years, or does he just rise when somebody steals the locket? Do we know?
No. After that, it was right because they were talking about the legend around the campfire.
Right.
That happened, and then the next day or next week, right? The people who played the trick on him, the lumberjacks,
Yeah.
the site that they worked on, there was a massacre there.
So they say, well, hold on. Okay, maybe I misread this. Are they saying? I thought it was like a 10, 12-year-old boy, Johnny, but it wasn't, or it was.
No, you're right. So, um, Johnny was again, like you said, he was challenged, right? He was developmentally disabled, right? And he was the son of his uh, of his father, who was the local merchant that would sell a lot of gear, like fire tower gear, or I don't know, lumberjack gear.
Knickknacks.
Yeah, stuff like that. And he was the sole shop in town, and he hiked up the prices, and he was basically just gouging people left and right, right? And the people who were would take it out on Johnny, just because they would see him and all the time.
He's a
And
victim.
yeah, he was a punching bag basically. And then he was tricked by the people to climb the fire tower for a bag of toys, and then someone scared him. He fell from the tower and died, which was deemed accidental. Um, and then there were two series of murders decades apart that was people put onto Johnny's vengeful spirit, right?
So every 10 years, then every 10 years he awakens, because you just said decades apart.
Yeah, I don't think it was like a time. I don't think you set your watch to it. I think it was maybe something to do with the locket, right? But we're gonna find out in A Violent Nature 2, which has already been greenlit.
No, I don't think we're going to find out in Violent Nature 2, because the locket is the Horcrux. The locket is the MacGuffin, right? I mean, we know this, especially from the end of the movie.
Yes and no. And to add on to it to the end of no, because the ending of the movie, I don't want to jump ahead too much. I guess if we're gonna talk
I
open with
agree.
the
I
beginning
agree.
and then go right to the ending, I'll save it for the ending.
I agree.
But I think this leaves a lot open for the story to develop a bit more for Johnny,
Okay.
just kind of like how Jason was, right?
Right, but I mean, it would be a lot better if there was a mentally challenged boy who drowned, and now he seeks his revenge at the
Right.
camp.
But the killer was not Jason in the first movie.
It was his mom. Yes, I know. Okay, Billy Loomis saying that. Billy Loomis was the killer, not your mother. So, all right. So that's our. You like that?
Yes, of
That's our
course.
backstory. That was our backstory about Johnny. So, yes. So you're right. So this movie opens up with. It's supposed to. This movie's tiptoeing. It's teetering around wanting to be first person, right? Because the camera's very stationary until Johnny starts walking, right? It just opens up this little hut. Remind me of Friday the 13th Part 2. There's a little locket. Somebody steals it. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there like some sort of a breathing tube in the ground where Johnny?
Yeah.
So is it telling us that he's okay? I know this is going to sound stupid on my part. I really do apologize, but there's a breathing tube, and then he comes out of it. Is Johnny even dead?
We'll find out in the second movie. No. So
He doesn't take
later
any
on,
damage.
when towards the end of the movie, when basically everyone's dead, when Johnny walks to the Ranger's hut and the Ranger is there, and we get a little bit more backstory from the Ranger, which
Right.
again I do appreciate in this movie, how we get the backstory again in this progression where it's from somebody who's giving you a little piece. This Ranger says that his dad has dealt with him before and he didn't believe him, but then so that must have been another the lapse, the time break where the first one massacre happened when Johnny first was accidentally killed, and then he must have came back probably when this Ranger was still a kid, and now he's back again. Uh, that he said that, oh, we buried you one time, we'll do it again, and he said that he can only be buried at that hut and uh, that thing in the woods, and we know that maybe that locket, per the ending, is the thing that he's after. Like that's what is giving him rest. Is
But
uh,
why have a breathing tube?
I so he can breathe.
Is he not a zombie?
I yes.
So what's with the? Okay,
You're right.
that
I don't know. I don't.
you and I can psychoanalyze that. That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe he likes the smell of the morning dew in the morning in the woods, and I
Okay,
he likes to hear the
all right.
birds chirping.
I'm calling BS because there's no reason to do the breathing thing. Anyway, so somebody steals the lock. We don't know who, and
Troy.
Johnny awakes. Well, at the time, right? Or do we know
Oh,
this?
right, right. We don't
Right.
find out until later.
And we get a third person view, which is the majority of the movie, of Johnny just walking to this hermit kind of house where two dudes are arguing, and then he goes in the house. Very Halloweenish, right? Where we're following the killer and nobody knows that he's there. Great stuff. I mean, like you can never go wrong with that. Brought me back to the remake right in 2018 of
Yeah,
Halloween.
yeah,
Brought me back to that, to where Johnny sees a gold locket. He thinks it's this gold locket, but it's not. It's a MacGuffin. So then he kills this. Well, he chases. Well, he doesn't chase every guy. He just constantly walks. But this guy that lives in the house runs away, gets into a bear trap. We don't see what happens to the guy. We don't see how he gets killed, right?
right.
But I do like the scene where Johnny goes back to the house, realizes it's not the locket, walks back past the guy that he just killed, and the guy's like skinned. You can see it at the corner of the screen.
Yeah.
The guy's like skinned. And I'm like, oh, that's that's interesting. Is that how this movie's going to go, where we're not going to see the deaths? Like, that was a very interesting take. What'd you think?
No, well, this was bad actor number one. I think. Oh, don't touch me! Oh, get away! It's just like no. If I saw that thing in my house, I'll tell you right now, it would be a lot of words and it would be a freak out, not like a little cry, but oh, don't touch me, go away. It's like
Right.
I don't mean to. Yeah, but get the hell, and I would run into the woods. What the? Uh,
You're on the road. His house is on the road. Just run down the road.
yeah, uh, yeah. So typical tropes right there too, where the killer's inside the house, and I'm running to the front door. Oh, better not go out the front door. I'll run upstairs instead, or
Yeah.
run to the basement. It's just like, guy, come on, man. And then, yeah, they foreshadowed a bit that you knew he was going to run into a trap, whether because they showed it or because the words he was having before this encounter with the ranger, where he's just like, I hope one of your traps comes back to bite you in the ass or whatever. And sure enough, he falls into one of
And
the
then,
traps. Yeah. And
uh,
I will say another part too is as he was walking through, and this happens a few times in this movie, it bothers the crap out of me. These characters, I was hoping that the college kids or whatever the group of friends that were there, I was hoping they would all actually like be friends, and there wasn't gonna be like that one guy who's or the rule breaker. And sure enough, they're all dicks, man. Like especially that Troy guy who's like,
His name's Troy.
Yeah, where he like throws the key into the woods. Oh, nothing to worry about, guys. I know the friends have been missing for a day, but we don't need to worry about. They're just having fun. And it's like, shut up, Troy. Yeah, you're making a big deal about this. Really, just going 11 onto the dick meter there. It bothered the hell out of me, but not as much as these people's lack of hearing and lack of peripheral vision. I've been in the woods. I know you've been in the woods. I've been camping. I know you have too. I've done all this. If something moves in my field of view, that big, like you're gonna, yeah. If someone's making the noise, you can hear somebody walking down a trail. You can
Breathing.
yeah, yeah. It's not gonna go completely unnoticed. There are other parts I thought were actually pretty cool, where he was kind of sneaking through, like the part where the kids are first freaking out, and the two people I think are going to the ranger's hut, and Johnny then walks and puts the stick into the car to get the horn going, and then walks
Right.
around the house. That was a cool scene.
That was great.
Yeah, and then we get that whole encounter with the axe killing. I thought that was pretty cool. But again, to have that big of a dude to walk around unnoticed is not really believable to me. I know this is a zombie killer, and believability is something that should be suspended in this, but I'm not just gonna have tunnel vision the entire time in the woods, especially when some people are missing.
I see now. I kind of disagree with you a little bit on like the acting, right? Because I know you've been harsh on it. I don't disagree, but this movie is not scary movie territory. You know, the camp scary movie Wayne Brothers.
Yeah.
But I think they're missing the mark, right? Because like these are the kind of characters that we get in a Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th kind of movies. You get all these teenagers that are just jerks, and one of them's named Troy in all the movies. I would guarantee that, right?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I don't mind the kids because if this movie is a love letter to 80s slashers, I mean they're doing the kids right.
Yeah. Yes and
You
no.
know,
Listen,
I mean, it
this is
sounds
in
like they
Canada.
are.
No, these kids are dumb, and they're dicks, flat out. Right to
How's it any different than the other ones?
uh technology. Oh, we don't
Uh,
get signal out here. So, right. Well, you have a car. You got an ATV. I just saw you. Oh, we went to the Rangers, and what Aaron was decapitated and thrown through the thing. Let's go back and see all this other stuff happen. All right, let's wait here for a bit. All right, I gotta collect myself, kind of thing. It's like, no, run. Oh,
Which is a
run,
good thing, though,
and then
right?
don't
Which is good that
stay there and set up a trap for the thing. Run, go,
that's
go to the nearest. Drive hours to your nearest police station, FBI, whatever, hospital. And be like, hey, listen, this is what happened. Don't just stay there for the night and be like, you know what? I got an idea. Hey, be quiet. You gotta be quiet. And then, dude, Colt even says, "What are you waiting for?" He yells it out to the woods. What are you waiting
well.
for?
Well, he says that in homage of Jennifer Love Hewitt. I mean, come on.
Of course.
This movie's a huge love letter. See, I actually get why you're upset, but I'm not in your, no pun intended, camp because, I mean, this is clearly Friday the 13th theft for the most part. I mean, like, these are kids that I'm used to seeing in 12 Friday
Sure.
the 13th movies.
You know
So,
what?
I
You're,
mean,
you're right. I'm hyping myself up. I hyped myself
Yeah.
up for this movie.
because this is not nothing more than Friday the 13th, Michael Myers, but in 2024. You know what I mean? Like,
I see what you mean. I see what you.
This is what we want.
It's playing to the rules of what the slasher flick is in a
How
new
else-
type of way. I understand. This is supposed to be whatever a Shudder film premiere here.
you have a character who's screaming into nowhere saying, "What are you waiting for?" Obviously, that's on No Tis the Last Summer, right?
Yes.
Also, though, to go again off of Friday, the Friday the 13th, 2009 remake had all those kids in the beginning by the fire telling ghost stories, right?
Yeah.
Straight up theft right here. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Tell us the
and I
story.
didn't feel too bad because that guy Colt, who said, "What are you waiting for?" He got, boy, he got butchered. Boy, he got unnecessarily butchered. Like everyone just got hacked and then they're dead. This guy is just,
No, yoga got worse.
wow, wow, wow. He just gets hacked over and over. Like Johnny really was just letting out some stress when he killed Colt.
Yeah, but not as bad as yoga.
Yoga was a very creative kill, by the way.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that just yet, though. Well, hold on, because you're going to say that one dude got it bad. I'd rather have been that dude than this girl. So Johnny gets into the ranger's hut. He finds this mask. Now, this is like a firefighter's mask, like some old school one. I do find it kind of fun. Hear my words carefully. Kind of fun, where directors put costumes on actors that shouldn't make sense, but then kind of do. Like, for an example, it brought me back to Chronicle. Remember Chronicle?
The superhero,
Right.
super
Chronicle.
villain.
Yeah, where there's the point of view.
Yeah,
It's the POV. And the villain wears a firefighter outfit.
sure.
So it's like, oh, that doesn't make sense, but it's kind of cool. For Johnny to wear this big old, like, I don't know, like a firefighter's mask, it's kind of cool. It's not a hockey mask.
No, it's something identifiable, right? It's a wilderness fire mask thing with a whistle on it.
And this is where creative kill, right? You get two girls, one's swimming, one's not. I don't know if she's swimming naked in the water. She probably is. That's a trope.
No,
That's
she has a
stereotype.
suit on.
She has a suit on. See, she would have been. See, this was a Friday 13th. She would have been naked for no reason.
Yep.
And we get his third person point of view of going through the water. Great. I think it's my favorite part of the whole movie.
It was
Actually,
good.
is that because you just see her in the distance, swimming, mind her business. He gets into the water, and you don't know how long it's going to take for him to get to her.
Yeah, but you know it's coming. It builds
You know it's coming.
some
Yeah.
tension there. Yeah.
And you're just like, is he actually swimming? Is he sinking to the bottom? How deep is this? Like, those are things I was thinking. Like, how long is it going to take him to get there? And all of a sudden, she just yanks. She gets up again, kind of like Jaws, where she's like, oh my God, something's biting me. And then yank again, and done.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah,
That was great.
nice. It was, yeah, I think that was, she probably had the, uh, I don't want to say easiest death because drowning is,
Yeah. It's a lot better than what happened to the next girl.
yeah. So that other girl is doing yoga on the cliffside.
Wow. Okay, so help me through this. So she's doing yoga, friends of the girl that was swimming. He walks towards her, Johnny does. She runs to the cliff. She can't go nowhere. She could have jumped down.
She could have
And
jumped.
she
That was a
could.
dune. That was a sand dune or a rough dune. And yeah, she could have easily jumped down that dune to escape.
Right. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this one. So she turns, she looks, it's kind of like a dune. She turns and looks back at Johnny, turns back towards us. She kind of takes a deep breath, like accepting her fate.
Yeah.
And then he stabs her. What's he stab her with?
So I think it's funny as you were saying the
No, his hand. His hand.
Jennifer Love Hewitt kind of a homage there, or, the little nod, as this guy has a hook, not a meat hook, but a kind of like a meat and chain, or no, I mean a hook and chain, maybe
Right.
like a tree hook, or something similar to it, but uh, he has a hook,
Right.
big old metal hook, and what punches it like right through her back and up and through her stomach, right? Punches it through her.
Right. And she's not dead yet, and she kind of turns around, right? Or like tries to turn around. And doesn't he he turns her neck around, doesn't he? Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't know how he does it. How's he do this kill? This is a great kill. He stabs. He punches through her stomach.
Yeah, he punches through her stomach with the hook and the chain still attached to it. He then spins when she turns around. He takes the hook, pulls it through her, and then stabs the hook on her forehead.
So
right?
She's dead at that point.
Yeah. So she has a chain going through her midsection, and then the hook hooked into the top of her head, and then he turns her 180s her again, and then pulls the chain so that her head goes through the hole in her midsection. She's contorted like a yoga thing and busts through, so her head is folded basically through her backside.
It sounds like a Mortal Kombat fatality. It was stop, she's already dead, right? From The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Right? There was no reason. Like, as soon as you got the meat hook in the head, dead. Like, why? Why play with your food?
Yeah. And then you get to see the spine cracking as it happens. And then he kicks her down the hill.
Right. And because he kicks her down the hill, I'm realizing, and below the dune is water. She could have gone, jumped, woo, down the dune. Maybe get hurt a little bit.
Yeah, no,
right?
I've jumped off of a dune before, and you could tumble down, but that result's gonna be a lot easier to take and handle than what she went through there.
Right, because she could tumble down. Somehow she's in her white panties and she's the virgin hero girl.
There you go.
Typical. Nobody else gets it as bad as her. Well, that's not true. The Ranger, we'll talk about that one because I'm confused about that. No, I'm not. So then nothing happens for a little bit, right? And it kind of is interesting because I'm kind of getting pissed, Eric, after the overkill, because I'm just like, okay, so the dude's just walking, but then it's like, okay, dude's like a great white shark, right? Like great white sharks, all they do is swim, right?
Yep.
So he doesn't know where his locket is. He's just walking endlessly until he hears something, not knowing if it's the kids that stole his locker. And I don't think he gives a shit. I think it's just like a shark. He just goes until he hears something. Right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Because it alluded that he did know who pocketed his locket, right? When he was standing behind and watching. And those kids freaked out because remember they were doing the group picture? And they clearly noticed that in that group picture that Johnny was standing behind them because they mention it. And we get this more now because Troy, Colt, and Evan, the three remaining people who are alive, are freaking out as we pan it with Johnny walking towards the group there, right?
But they have no idea that the other people are dead yet, right? They know that
they're missing.
Do they know that? No, they don't know the yoga girl's dead. They don't know that Lake girl's dead, right? They know the other dude's dead.
They know it. They don't know anyone's dead yet. They just know that they're missing. They find out that Aaron is dead because at this point they go to the Ranger's hut and they find the dead, decapitated Aaron, and they come back.
Gotcha. And this is where it gets interesting, right? So Johnny. What? Okay. So dude throws keys, and then what does Johnny find? He takes off his mask.
The truck.
He finds. Oh, that's right. He finds like a little Matchbox car. He's playing with it like that.
Yeah, and a keychain on the keys, a toy.
This is where the movie. I'm not gonna drop my F-bomb, but this is where the movie gets effed. I hated that the camera turned around and we saw Johnny's face. That was a stupid move.
Yeah.
It made me angry because it's just like, okay, now he literally does look like Jason. Like, why show us the face?
Just half decayed.
Why? Like, we don't care what his face looks like.
Yeah, I think it was just, again, to show off some makeup.
It was a stupid choice. But I felt my anger immediately turned to, this is interesting kind of feeling because this is where, like, we get some interesting kills. Like the two kids see Johnny, they try to run away, and then Johnny throws the axe, and you hear but you don't hear or see anything really else but that. And you see the kid's like dead with the axe in his back.
In his head.
In his head, yeah, in his head. And then Johnny goes after the other guy, and then the person's on the floor. It's just that whole segment was very WTF, what's going on kind of segment.
Well, yeah, because I think Evan shoots him, right? Yeah, he's the one that when Johnny's walking around the house and he's walking back, there's a part where he walks past a window and you can clearly see that Evan looks at him and says, "Holy crap! There's a guy out there. There's the killer." And he grabs his axe from the front. He goes over to kill Troy, who's dealing with the car, and he takes a swing at him, hits him in the top of the leg. Pretty, and it's a heavy axe too. You could hear it later on when he throws it at Chris, the girl, and it's you could hear the weight of that axe. I think that was a pretty cool part there too. But he's attacking Troy. Evan comes out with a gun, shoots him, and as we know, that bullets only temporarily disable, knock him out. So Evan tries to tie off the leg injury, and he tries to help him limp away into the woods. And as he's doing that, Johnny gets up, takes the axe, throws it, kills Evan, and Troy, who's only got one leg working, is trying to crawl away, and he gets his head smashed by a rock.
Which wasn't a great kill. I mean, again, Yoga Girl, man, he must have hated that Yoga Girl. Because she got it the worst. This guy got his head smashed. That guy didn't feel any pain.
No, I mean, he got his leg hit with an axe before then, too. But, yeah, you're right. And then Johnny rifles through his pockets because he knows that that's the guy that took the locket.
But there's no locket in his pocket.
But there's no locket because that was Troy. He gave it to his girlfriend, Chris. And she was wearing it.
Could be our virgin hero, right?
She wasn't a tank top.
They always are. So then we get the ranger station at night where you bring up that the new ranger said 10 years ago his dad dealt with this. We don't know the outcome of it. We don't know if his dad died from it. But I'm assuming he doesn't because they never believed him. And this is where Johnny comes back again.
He also says, because he notices Chris is wearing that locket, and he says that that's what keeps his soul at rest. Where'd you get that locket? Where did you get that locket?
So, do you have... Now, I don't know if the movie tells you. I'm just asking to ask. Does the movie tell us that you have to bury Johnny in the hut and also have the locket there? Or could you just have the locket?
Yeah, the ranger says something to that degree. That it has to be at that hut and the locket.
So why not go to the hut, put the locket there, distract him with the locket, and then bang him in the head?
Yeah, I think they were in a panic mode, and the idea then, what they were going to do, right, was to shoot him, chain him up, and then probably do just that, drag him over to that hut, bury him, and then give him the locket.
Okay. Okay.
Well, instead, these guys try to do a gun transfer,
which does not work. And then Johnny, what is he does something to the ranger to where, because you hear like cracking, but he paralyzes, paralyzed, right? So where he can't move or feel any pain.
Yeah, which is why that kill is probably just Ranger's probably just like, oh please, just hurry up. I can't feel any of this.
That kill was kind of fun, right? Because he paralyzed him. He drags him into this wood splitter, right?
Yeah.
And the camera keeps going back to the ranger, and his eyes are open. He can't open his mouth. He can't move, but his eyes are open.
Yeah, he's breathing. You can see his chest.
And I'm just like,
a little bit. He's
just looking around. He just lays there like a rag doll. His arms there, gets cut off by the. This was the money shot. This and the Yoga Girl was the big special effects for the movie that the director was really pushing for.
Absolutely.
Ranger gets the arm cut off, and then what does he do? He put the Ranger's neck in it, so he cuts off the Ranger's head.
Yeah.
Again, stupid. Why play with your food? If you know that he's paralyzed, just cut off dude's head. Why cut up the arm? I mean, you're delaying his death. He can't feel anything. Isn't the point of being a killer to see your victims scream in pain that gets you off? I don't know.
Yeah,
I just,
we'll ask Johnny in the second movie.
I mean, all I want is the screams. It helps me sleep at night. But then the movie, but then it turns right to where we get the two remaining left, and they're going to have a trap. And then who is it? It's our virgin girl who?
Chris.
And
With
the
a K.
dude who?
Colt with a C.
And is Colt her boyfriend, or Colt's just the dude?
Chris was dating Troy, and these are the people who had that dumb little banter about his finger-sized penis. But he makes a comment about Colt being the weird guy, and he is the unwelcome thing, but he's just a friend. But you could tell that because of that comment that maybe Colt has a thing for Chris, and in this moment we can kind of see that too. So
Well, he has a thing for his brains all over the wilderness floor because that's what happens,
what
right?
are you waiting for? Yeah.
Yeah, and Johnny's just going to town on this guy, brains are splattering everywhere, and then Chris takes off the actual real necklace, right?
Yep.
And lays it on the gas can and just slowly walks away.
Yeah, I think whatever
I would do the
plan-
same thing.
Yeah, whatever plan that they had, she was just like, yeah, you know what? I think I'll just run.
Okay, so I have a lot of theories about this. Not a lot, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. But the rest of the movie, just to sum it up, less than 30 seconds, she walks away creepily. She walks all night, runs all night. The killer's not chasing her. She somehow gets hurt. She stumbles upon the main road. Some random woman helps her and gets her in the truck. And the whole time I'm like, when's Johnny popping out? And the woman's like, oh, hey, my brother got mauled by a bear, but he survived, and then she's like, oh my God, we got to tourniquet your leg. It's all messed up. And then she fixes it while Chris thinks that Johnny's around, but he's not. Credits.
By the way, that woman is Lauren Marie Taylor. She got her first big role as Vicky in Friday the 13th Part 2.
That's why see? Son of a bee sting. I'm telling you, this guy is theft. He has a Friday 13th Part 2 actress in the movie?
Yeah, yeah. Now, this ending I don't really get. I think the whole plan was
I
for
got it.
him to build some tension because she tells a story about her brother being attacked by a bear and how the bear was just kind of a killer and just bloodlusted and just going around some henhouse disease or syndrome or something like that, right? Where animal just gets berserked, man, just goes bloodlust. Yeah, but there's still this high tension moment where Chris is kind of fading a little bit from the blood loss, and so this woman stops the car and she says, I gotta tie you. And you have this thing where just like, is this where she says that like Johnny was my brother, kind of a thing, or she's looking in the woods and trying to make it this high suspenseful moment where we're looking in the woods too. Is Johnny gonna come out? And no, we get.
You get it. I get it. You get it.
Yeah, of course.
What do you get? I get it.
What do you mean?
I get that he wasn't chasing her at all. It was all in her craziness. It was all in her fear. Once he got done twiddling do on dude's brains, he turned around to kill girl. He sees his lock and he grabs his lock and goes home.
Oh, I get the effect that they're trying to go for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But she doesn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the illusion that you never know what's out there watching you, kind of a thing. And she's got
Went on
this
too
fear
long.
in her now. Yeah, but he was just after the locket, and we get the cut to the canister without the locket on it. Roll credits.
Right. So there is a sequel. You said it has already been greenlit. I mean, Shudder's going to do it because it's going straight to their streaming service. They're probably going to do a prequel, right? I mean, that's how these things kind of go.
You think so?
I mean, right? I mean, like they're going to do it where Johnny's alive and he gets tricked, right? Like and he falls to his death. Like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, that does seem kind of the easy route.
And we're going to tell that first story of the Ranger's dad, or we're gonna bring characters in that were talked about.
Oh yeah, and then you get the massacre of the first massacre.
That's what I'm saying.
Good
Like
call. Good
that's,
call. Good call.
I mean, that's obvious. That's what's gonna happen. I've been wrong before, but I don't know. Like it's hard, Eric, because like I told myself that I wasn't going to compare this to Friday the 13th, but I did not know that that actress was in part two. So knowing that she's in part two is just like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that when does a love letter become theft? Like, I mean, this is borderline, right? Like, this is borderline a fan film.
Yeah, and it is from somebody who obviously loves horror movies. But I feel like to call it robbery is not so much as it's just taking notice from the greats and taking what you like from it and improving upon it. Listen, I liked this concept. I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
I think that this is a solid like a drive-in type of movie, Friday night feature kind of a type of movie. And this little I wouldn't say date movie. It was gory, man. It was violent, and for sure. And I like that part, but everything else about it I think could have been done a little bit better. But again, this is kind of your low budget uh, uh project kind of a film, right? Like I
What
don't
they should have
know. I'm trying to find out what the budget for this movie was because I'm sure it was maybe a couple million, right? I mean,
what I want to do is, I don't know if you heard this or not, but there's like a lake or like a big lake somewhere in the country where they watch Jaws every Friday the 13th. Like everybody's
oh, nice.
like on rafts. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
floating on rafts and tubes and watching Jaws in this lake. This movie would be great in the woods. Go out to the middle of the woods somewhere and watch this movie. That'd be fun.
yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
Did
But
you find the budget?
no, it grossed like almost five, like four and a half. I can't imagine that the budget is going to be any more than that. Here, I'll actually give it a Google here, and
So it made 5 million.
uh,
There's gonna be a sequel
holy
for
cow!
five
It
million.
reported from IFC that this has a budget of less than half a million.
Okay, so less than half a million. So 250,000.
And MPA put this as a NC-17 rating or
That's
unrated.
why. That's Oh, so is that why it didn't get a wide release, or is it
Oh, excuse me.
because
It was
this?
about to be an NC-17, but IFC Shutter decided to bypass all and just release the film as unrated on their own platform. So,
All
which
right.
which happens.
Yeah. One more
Hold
thing.
on. I remember a story when I was a kid going into Blockbuster, and I wanted to rent one of the Jason movies, I think, and I wasn't allowed to watch R-rated movies.
Right, right, right,
And
right.
I got one of the movies. I was like, "Mom." Uh, and I remember because people around could hear me, and they all laughed. I got a kick out of it. It's like, "Mom, can we rent this?" And she's like, "No, you're not allowed to watch R-rated movies." And I was like, "But it's unrated.
But it's unrated. That's a good
It's
one.
not rated R. It's unrated." And everyone was just like, "It's pretty funny."
That's
Um,
hilarious.
Obviously, I didn't get to watch it.
I was just gonna ask, but I think I'm getting my answer. Um, like the last NC-17 movie, right? Because that used to be a thing back in the day. Remember? Like, NC-17. Of course, we all know this from Showgirls. Well,
Yeah. Geez, I wonder.
but the last one that came out would be Lucky Bastard, which I don't know what that is, or El Inferno, which I don't know what that is either. So a lot of these are like low budget.
I see Blonde. It's a Netflix movie. The one about Marilyn Monroe.
We were supposed to review that. We never did.
Yeah, that one apparently is NC-17. First NC-17 rated film to be released on Netflix.
Produced by Brad Pitt, star starring Adrian Brody. Yeah, dude, that's been on our radar for like, yeah, 2 years.
Yeah,
2022.
I'm glad we
Okay.
watched that one. That's fine.
I mean, I don't know, but all right, popcorn rating for this, knowing that there's going to be a sequel.
Oh man, Killer Joe was NC-17. I saw that movie with my mom.
Showgirls. It's a small, right, Eric?
Yeah, listen, there are parts about this movie I liked, but I feel that it's just not there. I hope they make those improvements in the second one. The gore was great. I think the concept is great, but for this seemed like a much better student film. I don't want to. I feel like that's insulting to Chris Nash. I do. To
Well, it
call it
wasn't
that.
good.
It's a good Shutter film, man. Like it has like what was that? Remember
Do Shutter films have
Horror Fest?
low? Yeah, Horror Fest. I remember Horror Fest.
Yeah, I feel like this would be perfect in like a horror fest.
Is Shutter known for having not like top tier releases?
I feel like Shutterfest is kind of like how sci-fi is to science fiction, Shutter is to horror.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Well, okay, never mind. This is better than the sci-fi movies. This is like Alligator good.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, this has its moments. It really does. Um, but there are other ones where it just didn't. It just needed to be okay. So there are a lot of slow moments in this movie.
A lot. Jeez, that's saying it mildly.
Yeah, and I don't know how you can improve about that because you already have Johnny walking into the woods during the day, and then suddenly it cuts to him walking at night, which is great. We're not doing that. What the hell that Kurt Cobain movie? Uh,
Last days.
yeah, where it was him just walking in the woods for an hour. Uh, yeah, so that's fine. I enjoyed that. Um, that they kind of sped it up, but there are again other parts where it it wasn't as suspense building or um, yeah, just kind of this tense building moments that the director thinks it was. It was just boring.
So there, but there comes a point to where this movie, we're only talking about this, Eric, because the trailers promised us a very interesting gimmick. The same story that we've grown up with, but a different point of view.
Yeah,
And it wasn't that interesting of a point of view as you would think it would be. Like, I kind of wanted to go more camp. Like, I kind of wanted to not go scary movie territory, but teetering, right? Where like a couple's having sex in the in a tent, and it's the third person view of the killer, and he kills the guy, and we see that point of view, but then the girl runs away, and then she goes no, like that's what this movie needs. Like it's getting it's weird. It's just him walking. He's just walking.
yeah. So yeah, I feel like you're right. You're right. Because we try to do in the show as best we can to highlight parts that worked and didn't work, and what we would do to maybe improve it in our mind. I feel like, and you've alluded to this a bit more as to what they possibly could do in the second movie, but the cabin scene in this movie, right when Troy, Colton, and Evan are talking, and he comes up and does that walk around in the cabin.
Right.
I feel that if we had maybe like an hour of just something like that, where he goes into a camp and he's going from cabin to cabin and wreaking havoc, and each cabin, as he progresses, is slowly getting more and more alerted and panicked to his presence there, and he's moving. There's the other part too, is that we see him always kind of upright and like walking. Sometimes he'll pick up the pace a little bit, but he's never like doing a full run or sprint, or he's not doing like a creep move or anything
Yeah.
like that, which is fine because that would take me away from it. But setting up a trap almost, just in the moment, this little distraction trap. I think that would be great. If we had more of that to where he was just doing the butcher from one to the other, and maybe that downtime of him walking into the woods was more of like that calm after a big scene, just to kind of do a reset and set up for the next part. But there was a lot of resets in this movie.
Yeah, it dragged. It dragged. I mean, it sounds like both you and I are going to give this a small.
Not for
I-
lack of trying here, man. Like the ideas
No.
were there. It was great. I think just it was better on paper than it was in execution.
Well, let's see, right? Let's see if the sequel approves, right? Improves, because not many have. But yeah, both you and I are giving this a small. I mean, like, if you are, for those of you who are listening, if you are a horror fan, if you like those movies, the '80s slasher movies, then check it out. That's why we watched it,
Oh yeah.
right? If we weren't fans of '80s slasher, we probably wouldn't have seen it. But it's something to see. It's a gimmick movie, so
It's a concept.
the concept
And
is
I-
like, hey, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Third person point of view of the killer.
Yeah.
That'll be great. You know, what'll also be great when people download us at movieguyspodcast@podbean.com.
Wonderful segue, Jordan.
Did you like that?
It was. It's a small bag.
Oh, fuck. Oh, it was a medium at best. But check us out at movieguyspodcast@podbean.com. You know that you listen to us on your phone, on your tablet, wherever you listen to us from. We appreciate it. But always download us on Thursdays for a new awesome episode. Eric, thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back next Thursday. Another awesome episode. Have a good night. I just found, I said Miller Lite was the rich man's. It's not. Well, check out this
The
commercial.
High
It's,
Life champagne and beer.
it's amazing because
Are you gonna play me another beer commercial?
Phil Collins in a Michelob commercial.
Oh, he probably got paid for this.
It's just driving throughout New York City, a man and a woman, just
There
wow.
you go. It's a professional, classy wardrobe.
Wait till it goes to the ba 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 ba. It's
Look
just
at
so,
their earrings.
look at that. It makes me want to buy Michelob. I'm just
This is
telling.
like it's like a magazine ad come to life.
I know, isn't it great? All right, here we go. Because they're gonna skip. All
It
right.
skips to the drum, or are they gonna play the whole part? Oh,
What?
kind of want a Michelob.
I want a Michelob.
Advertising works.
For some reason, because I forever have told people that Miller Lite was the beer of the fancies, of the white collars, but no, that's Phil Collins. That
Buddy.
was Patrick Bateman's favorite commercial.
I swear, if you use this for our intro or outro, we have a problem with talking about beer.
I won't. I have a problem talking about beer. You just go with me because you're nice. I'm gonna probably use that
It's gonna
part.
make me want a beer. I'm probably gonna have a few this weekend, actually.